Hi, everybody. We here at McStabber Studios appreciate you tuning in to see our tabletop RPG streams. Some of the content of our streams may be a bit mature and cause emotional responses in viewers. We really take the well-being of our viewers very seriously, and we want you to do what you need to if something triggers you. Mute the stream, take a break, or just skip an episode. Otherwise, if you decide to stay tuned in, we are available in chat during the streams to talk you through it if you need that. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy this game session.
We have lived this dream before, 1,000 times, in 1,000 places. It chases me across the dreaming. Some places in the autumn world still have the taste of home. Of summer. Like here. Yes, I am a dreamer, for a dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world. Oscar Wilde wrote that. And I dream it will not be like the last time. Or the time before that. Stop me if you've heard this one before. An Eshu, a Puka, a Satyr, a Troll, and a Cluricon walk into a bar to earn my
Hi everyone, it's great to have everybody for our Changeling the Dreaming one-shot. I'm Michelle, or Spectre Lafette, and I'll be your storyteller for this wonderful madcap chaos jaunt we're going on. I'm going to go around in a circle and introduce everybody, so starting with the Lifesaber. Let's go there and head down to Rylin and around.
Hello, I'm the Lifesaber, also known as Mandy. I am playing Neve O'Shea today. I am a Cluricon.
I'm Rylin Dare, and I am playing Philia Chenet, the Ishul of some renown for her storytelling.
I am Jeremy. I'm going to be playing Dom Stefia, or Dumpster Fire. The Satyr, lover, not a fighter.
Hello everyone, I'm Nikki, also known as Ravina, and I'm going to be playing Una, the lovely little puka.
Hello everyone, my name is Zachary, also known as Lord Z2424, and I will be playing Sir Ivory Tusk. Pleased to meet you.
He is our Night Troll of the Court of the White Trillium. So, is everybody ready?
Ready.
Alright, let's get started. Lost in the dreaming are 1,000 tales of 1,000 lives lost and forgotten in the mist. But here, in the autumn world, a few great bastions of glamour remind us of what once was. Like here, in the court of White Trillium, where Duke Stephen Brunswick ap Dougal rides in his clockwork carriage with his prancing chimerical horses up to his formal freehold, the Maple Home, where great maple trees tower over even the castle itself and shadow its industrious forges. But you, dear dreamer, see only the stately Toronto home, oldest in the city, and not the uproarious kitchens, with the one very excitable puka cooking furiously for the expected guests. The Eshu and the Cluricon recommended to adventures yet unknown. The Satyr furiously planning to cover the Lord's lack of interest in social affairs. And a Troll, bound to protect them all. Now let's let our imagination run wild and begin our fairy tale. So, we're going to start with Una. Una, you are in a furiously busy kitchen with one very unhappy Grump Boggin, who has been just informed that the bodyguard coming with the contingent of She arriving today is a red cap. And we are not prepared to feed a red cap, because they like interesting things, not necessarily tasty things, just things they haven't eaten before. It could be people, it could be garbage, it could be toxins. They really don't care. Mrs. Quigley runs up and down this furiously busy kitchen with a various variety of pixies and pukas and boggins, all cooking for a variety of palates that don't normally have to do this much work. And she turns to you and says, Una, what are you doing?
I'm trying to make something really good for the red cap. I have an idea, Miss Quigley. I have an idea.
Let's hear your idea, Una.
We could take a plate, and I could take some of my candy apple, the special kind. You know what I mean? And we could actually take the china and soak it in that and candy the china.
No. And she looks and she goes, I really hate wasting china like that, but that's a brilliant idea. And besides, the Duke has already asked that I send you up to serve the guests today, so that would probably work out just well. So you candy the china, and we'll see what goes on from here.
I will! Yay!
Sir Ivory Tusk, you have been brought in with the Duke's retinue today. Your mentor and captain of your guard, Captain Ebon Frost, has brought you to his side and said, look, the Duke is less than enthused about having to come from Caer Cascadia today, but it appears that one of his adventuring teams have come in from the wilds, and we owe them a boon. So, there are several other court matters that need to be taken care of today, and I have recommended that you be the assistant for one of them. He has a ragtag group of people in mind for them, and we definitely need someone who will look out for the Duke's interests among them. Can I count on you for this?
You can.
Good. We have some strangers, we have... I do hate when this happens, but I know Duke Stefan hates when this happens too, and so just be on your guard, okay? I know I can rely on you. And he pats you on the shoulder and he moves up to join the Duke. Now the Duke, for Neve and Fira, is a man who looks moderately like half a clockwork golem. He has had so much on the right side of his body replaced, you cannot tell where the clockwork starts and where the man begins. But he is clearly still a living human being in terms of what he is. But it does go somewhat to explain the clockwork theme of the hallways here. There's a number of chimera running around with messages. There are like 15 knockers you've seen so far, which is a lot of knockers in one place, all swearing and comparing notes on their various projects, which they could not be persuaded to leave in the forge, despite every matter of protocol, because the Duke himself does not really care. He would rather be in the forge too. So, what are the two of you doing?
Neve is probably close to a wall. She's very comfortable in large parties. She's been to them. She just doesn't like being there. She has a glass that is full of probably beer. No one really knows what it is, though. And she's just kind of watching everybody and sticking as close to the wall as she can.
Fira, what are you up to?
Fira is going to be slowly walking, very gracefully, around the congregated crowd and mingling.
Excellent. Now, Dom, you have a full freehold today. Most of the people who are members of this freehold are here. You do know that there's a party of about 12 people coming in with the she retinue, as well as the Duke himself, who isn't normally in his main freehold, largely because he prefers to stay in Caer Cascadia as much as he can. So this is a very big party for you here. Also, you will notice that Fira is in attendance today. She's very hard to not notice.
But that's going to be a hard thing to be keeping my eyes on my work and not keeping my eyes on her, knowing how I feel about her.
Excellent.
No, mon amis, you're all putting it. No, that needs to go over there. No, to the left a little.
A pixie walks by and steals something off your pants just because they can. Like,
I'm not wearing any pants here.
it's like, you're no fun. Honestly, you're supposed to be fun.
I am fun. We'll have some drinks later, you and me. Maybe we, talk about some things.
And the pixie bounces up and down. Goes, yes, we should absolutely do that. Do you know that the Lady Maria has another pixie in it, and they have had the best adventure? I heard it from a friend who heard it from an issue who heard it from, I don't even remember, but it's going to be awesome.
So kind of like your best friends, next door neighbors, best friends, firemen, policemen's.
Yes. That sounds awesome. There's a fireman too. I have to find out about the fireman, and it wanders off.
Dom. Go ahead.
Continue.
Dom will cast the aside glance to Thera, and he'll kind of wink at her, and then go back to motioning to where people need to set things up for this event.
And in response, because she can feel his eyes on him, she just gives him a coy grin and goes about her conversation she's having.
Excellent. At about this time, the Duke and his retinue, including Sir Ivory Tusk, enters the main throne room. It is not a whole lot of fanfare. There is somebody attempting to announce him and all of his titles. He has ignored them and has just walked up to the throne and plopped himself down with very little fanfare. He goes, excellent. And he nods around to the various courtiers that he must acknowledge before moving on. And he goes, I want to thank you all for coming to this grand festivity. I know you are all very busy, and the knockers all go, rah! And they're like, yes, I know. We all have projects. But it is very important because that we be here to welcome the Lady Maria back from her quest to the Dreaming, as it appears she was successful in bringing back what we desired. So, I would like everyone to be as polite as possible. I know everyone has heard the rumors. You've heard the rumors. I will not brook anyone disrespecting her while she is in my court. Is that understood? The knockers all go, fucking she politics, and go back to muttering to themselves. And the seneschal puffs himself out. Everyone heard the word of the Duke, right? We won't have any problems. Now, Fira, one of the she-ladies near you, leans over to you and says, you know what's wrong with Lady Maria, right? She's lost 2 freeholds. 2.
Oh my word.
One of them, there's a terrible tragedy, was lost back to the Dreaming again. It couldn't possibly be construed as her fault, I suppose. But the second one she lost in combat, and she's supposed to be this great warrior.
There has to be a story there.
At about this time, a she contingent of about 12 people, so there's about 6 she in the contingent and 6 commoners with them. One of them very prominently next to the main lady of this contingent is a red cap. Red caps are terrifying in general. They have giant teeth, and it grins at everybody like it's just daring them to say shit in this moment. Also, it unfurls about 12 feet of tongue while grinning. It goes, look, we have a party. Lady Maria, we have a party. just for us. About this time, Una, Miss Quigley goes, go, you must get the refreshments up to the guests. And you, Thomas, and you, Benjamin, get your head out of the water. Go.
I'm going. I zoomy out.
Now, would everyone like to describe what people see when they see your characters? Let's start with Neve.
Neve has bright emerald green eyes. She has short red hair, is very short, about 5 feet even, maybe, and very slight, but even though her form is very slight, she is very muscular, like that ripped, lanky rope of someone who's super fast and could like hurt you if they wanted to. But she also is very unassuming, so she doesn't look like she's going to necessarily hurt anybody because she's not intimidating at all. She's so small.
Oh, Fira.
Give me just one moment. Move on to someone else, please.
Dom.
Well, Dom, he's really short when you look at him. He has, instead of the normal like single sprouted horns for a satyr, he's got the curly horns. And he dresses in all black clothing like one of those goth kids from, the mortal world. And he wears a lot of makeup, and he just, for a goth kid, he seems really happy and really loving.
And Una, as you come zooming in to the courtroom on your roller skates of Zoomy, what do people see?
They see a cotton candy shaped blur. It's cute. Cotton candy ears, cotton candy hair, a lovely yellow sparkly shirt, and rainbow biker shorts.
Adorable.
The
Right.
zoomy blades are also rainbow in flavor, and also you can kind of see little sparkles coming off of them as she's holding the tray.
Sir Ivory Tusk.
So what everybody sees is a 6'10" tall adult aquamarine troll, no hair, and dark violet eyes, wearing mostly all medieval garb with the symbols of the house, and notably his pure ivory tusks.
Excellent.
And Fira is a tall issue, as most are. She is a bit pale. Her long hair is the color of midnight, her eyes the color of sparkling gold. She walks with a cat-like grace and is wearing a bias-cut silk dress and a beautifully sheer silk black beaded shawl.
So, the she contingent progresses into the hall, led by a woman in front with dark, almost moonlight hair and silver armor still covered in some sort of gore. It's hard to tell because it's not blood-colored. It is clearly dirtied by battle, though. She seems unconcerned by what the court seems to think of her. She also, while she does have the presence of the she, as the seneschal announces her as Lady Maria Apskatach, you recognize her as one of the Autumn She, which means that she was one of the ones who stayed behind during the shattering. And she approaches Duke Stefan and motions to her retinue behind her, which is carrying a huge crystal chest that sparkles with all the colors of the rainbow, but is not penetrable. You cannot see what's within it. It also seems to be making some sort of noise. Una, if you would like to make me a perception plus... trying to decide here. Empathy or alertness?
What's the difficulty, storyteller?
It's 6.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Four.
Excellent. You are almost 112% certain there's a bunny in there. And it's just because you are very attuned to bunnies. You know how bunnies sound. You can't see one, but you're pretty certain there's a bunny in that chest.
I spin around and I try and make sure I serve the refreshments first to both the Duke and the lady.
Mm-hmm. And Maria glances at you and shakes her head and goes, "Oh, serve someone else first." And the red cap extends his tongue from besides his lady and just grabs something off the tray. And, like, it goes straight down his gullet. And whatever it is, it's gone now.
And I gotta give me a tongue like that.
And he's like, "Good waitstaff." And he grins at you. He goes, "I always had a fondness for rabbit stew."
And I spin around. I give a cute little bow and try and make my way around the rest of the retinue.
And
Do I side eye that a certain issue is in?
Yes. So there is a certain issue in the crowd here. But also, that certain issue is busy staring at someone else in Lady Maria's retinue. There is a dark, tall man with the bearing of a she, with silver flecks in his eyes, and all the hallmarks of another issue standing with Lady Maria. About 1 to 2 rows back, but he spots you. He grins, and he goes back to paying attention to whatever's happening between the Duke and the Lady Maria.
Just zoomy, trying to serve everyone as best as I can.
Mm-hmm. What happens when you get to Dom?
I see Dom, and I blush. The tray shakes a little, but I come over and I kind of gesture with the tray, kind of looking down.
Mon ami, why are you looking down? Here, let me help you balance that tray. No, you don't have to look down when you come talk to Dom. It's okay. Is that a new color in your ears?
No.
You sure? Because it sure does look different to Dom, doll.
Do you want a drink, Dom?
Why, certainly. Did you make it yourself, dear? Why, thank you.
And I immediately sashay off, cotton bunny tails twitching as I go.
Sir Ivory Tusk, you're within earshot of the conversation that's happening between the Duke and Lady Maria, and you are definitely aware of the red cap. Now, red caps are famously short-tempered and famously rude, so there's not really a lot to do with the fact that he's intimidating because he doesn't really have any control over that. But you still watch him, because one of the things red caps are famous for are just kind of eating body parts off of people when they're fighting. So, you know, it's definitely a threat within the range of the Duke, even if it's not a overt threat. And the Lady Maria says to the Duke, "I brought it, Stefan. It's been so long." And Stefan says, "I know. We'll discuss this afterwards, Maria. But are you sure you found it?" And she says, "Yes. And I'll claim my boon now. I fulfilled my quest. Honor your contract." And Stefan says, "So it is written, so it shall be done." And the retinue brings the crystal chest to Stefan and places it at his feet. And there's the sound of a small gong that goes off of the room with the finality of a funeral bell. And then it passes. And Stefan says, "But you have had a long journey. I offer you my hospitality until you must return to your quest, Maria." And she says, "I thank you, but look after my retinue first. I'm fine. This is just always how it has been." And she moves into the crowd with a faint air of sadness about her. And Stefan goes. And there's a deep sigh in him watching her go. And then his Slua advisor leans over to him and says, He goes, "Oh, yeah, probably should deal with that, huh? Right, deal with that. Okay." So he stands up and he goes, "I have summoned you all here to make my guests welcome, but we have one other issue of note, and I have had some excellent recommendations by the members of my freeholders, and I should take their advisory notions into account. So, if the following people would please step forward, I have a task I would like to present to you and see if you will take it on for a minor boon from my hand. Neve O'Shea."
Are you kidding me?
"I most assuredly am not. PJ recommended you."
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did.
"How is the cantankerous old bastard?"
I broke a shot glass last week, so this is my punishment.
And he chuckles. He goes, "I'm sure he'll get over it." Couple punches later.
Yeah, I tried that. Didn't work.
"Well, maybe my favor will be enough to get you back in his good graces.
I hope so. What do you want?
Let me get the rest of your crew and I will elaborate. Fira Shene. You have been recommended by the Lady Maria to me."
It is flattering to know that I am so highly considered.
"The tales of Eshu are both fantastic and useful."
Indeed. It would be my pleasure to assist you in this matter.
"Excellent! Una! I know you've only been a member of my household for a very short time, and I would have you stay longer, but I would have you on this quest if Mrs. Quigley speaks highly of you, even if she finds your pranks, well, amusing at times and frustrating at others, but that's the cross we all bear when living with a puka."
And she speeds up and she does a little pirouette and goes into a full-scale curtsy.
"And Dom, I hate to put more on your schedule for now, but I would actually prefer you to join this quest if it could. And Sir Ivory Tusk, I feel you would be an excellent guardian for this crew. Is that acceptable? I know your captain has already given his permission."
If that is the will of the Duke, I do serve the house, my lord.
"Excellent. Is that all of your sentiment, or just my
So
lord?"
wait a minute. Is this task to get some of them laid? Because it's going to be possible for some of them. Some of them it's going to be a little bit harder for Dom to get. I mean, that's got to be what this is, right?
He says, "It is a task that requires creativity."
Oh, I'm your man for that then, Duke.
"And I think the combination of the five of you will be excellent towards this task. It has been brought to my attention that a Sandman has graced our territory. And while Sandmen are notoriously fickle in some ways, they are incredibly useful to protecting the sources of glamour in our freehold as well. Now, sometimes they are too fickle to be reasoned with, and bring only nightmares and banality to the hold. And sometimes they are friendly and interested in our plight, and can bring dreams to even the most frustrating of dreamers. So, unfortunately, I do not have the time, nor the inclination, to track down this Sandman myself. Nor do I have the ability to see one, which I know our Eshu friends do. But, if we could either encourage it to vacate our territory if it is not amenable to negotiation, or to negotiate with it to bring dreams to those we would find more useful, I would be most appreciative.
So, am I hearing you right? We don't exactly know what this Sandman's intention might be, whether he's bringing the banality and the nightmares, or whether he's bringing the good lollipop dreams to all the children.
Correct. But it is unwise to leave such a force wandering free across our freehold and territory.
Where was he last spotted?
And a boggin from the crowd goes, well, I saw it in the kitchen once. But then I also, well, I didn't see it, but like the Slua saw it and then told me about it. So, you know, like I saw it. I was there. And then and then we heard that it had been at the daycare down the street, but we don't know what it was doing down there. And then there was some sort of ruckus down in the bar district, but like it's hard to track. We just know it's around, and we don't know what it wants. The Slua advisor to the Duke whispers, and he says, it would be more useful to help the spirit help us. Where there are one spirit, there's frequently more. And we should have no interest in disturbing them. Just being friendly, as neighbors should. And Lady Maria turns her head and she says, friendly. Thing about spirits is they always have their own agenda. They do what they want. Sometimes they seem amenable to your negotiation. Sometimes you can bind them to contracts. But sometimes they're fickle even to themselves. It is better to be rid of an annoyance than it is to keep it on hand. Duke waves his hands and he says, yes, yes, but I have chosen the people I would like to deal with this problem. And if they so choose to take this contract on, I offer a minor boon from my house. Do you accept this contract?
I don't think I really have a choice, so I'm just going to say yes.
And there's that toll of the bell again.
I accept your contract.
And the bell goes off. Dom, can I rely on you?
Well, I certainly can't let the Lady Farah go off and show me up. I mean, I got to make sure she come back nice, safe, and sound.
Exactly, and I would hate to lose my Master of Ceremonies. You are so useful to this court.
I try to be your dukeship.
Do you accept the contract?
I do.
And the bell goes off.
I don't feel like I just got married.
Una, I know you're new to my freehold, but I would have you become a member of my court at some point. If this is acceptable to you, do you accept the contract?
I'll do what I must for you, Duke.
And the bell goes off. Sir Ivory Tusk, you are one of my most reliable knights. I trust you with my freehold when I am not in attendance. Do you accept this contract?
I live to serve, my lord.
And the bell goes off. And he says, excellent! That's all the business I had in mind for today, and I'm done with it. So, eat, drink, be merry, don't fuck with the forge. And he gets up from his chair and he goes out and to mingle with his court and to eventually vanish and go play with his toys.
Vera walks over to Una. I would love a drink.
Okay,
Could,
okay.
Could you also take me to the kitchens? Thank you.
And she speeds off, and it's about like 20 feet, and she's like,
Well, come on.
Oh, Vera's keeping up.
It's true, she is.
Mhm.
Are you using an art to do that?
Yes, I think I will. I think I will wayfare my way right over there.
Excellent. Excellent. So roll me your Quicksilver because it would be the most applicable to what you're doing here. So art plus realm, difficulty 7 because you're in the freehold.
And what is my difficulty?
7.
Okay. That is 3 successes.
Excellent. You are absolutely keeping up. It's very graceful, but it's a bit like a blur. So Una, she can keep up with you.
I go faster. Zoomy, zoomy. To the kitchens we go.
Oh, darling Puka, we can do this all day.
So the kitchens are a great, fiery, not dirty because it's headed by a boggin, but like chaotic mess in terms of household goods. There are like 17 different china patterns in here. There's 40 things on a stove. You're not really quite certain how there are 40 things on the stove, but it's the same stove and they're all cooking different things at the moment. It's noisy, it's loud. There are chimerical servants around here too, taking things to various other parts of the castle that have to keep running, whether court's in session or not. There are bells that ring down here too when people need things, so they go off sporadically. You don't know what they mean. Una, you know what they mean, but they're not. You're not on duty to deal with them at the moment because you're dealing with the main court. Miss Quigley looks around and goes, "I thought I told you to go talk to the Duke, Una, didn't?"
I did. I promise I did. But
That's a good girl.
But she eyebrows.
Oh,
He wanted to see the kitchens, and I'm gonna check on the candy.
okay. You check on that. So the first one, the glaze broke because we weren't really quite certain, and then it was sugar all into the china. But I'm not certain if that's good or bad, Una. I don't know.
I'll fix.
And Miss Quigley sticks her hands on her hips. And
I'll make you a drink soon, Fiora. I promise. Let me fix this.
You'll do what you must. It's fine. I want to just, if I may, Mistress, I would like to take a look around. I hear there was a report of a Sandman witnessed here.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is roll me a perception plus kenning, because you're trying to see residue of magic here. Now, I am going to warn you, the difficulty of this is 8, because you are in a freehold, and there's lots of magic.
Two successes.
Okay. So there is some sort of residue here. It feels cold. And times you felt like that, somebody would have been using a winter art here, but it's not quite that. It's similar enough to it, though, that it feels like that. It's like a cold spot by the hearth where it had been sitting for a while.
Well, at least now I'm familiar with the traces it leaves.
Miss Quigley, with all her frizzy, vaguely, it's pastel. At some point, it was probably a light green, but it's also gray now. So, looks at you, says, "Can I help you? Because you might have noticed we have a lot of guests, and I got a lot to do, so..."
You do what you must. I will see myself out. I have found what I was looking for. The Duke has tasked Una and myself and a few other companions to look into this Sandman.
She looks and she goes, "If you find that thing, give it a piece of my mind, because I swear it's had every slua that in this entire freaking freehold in my kitchen. I don't know what you know about that, but because we're down here and it's dark, they are dark and quiet, and you trip over them all of the time. They don't announce themselves.
I'm sure that's very disruptive to your work."
Yes, it is. But they keep telling me it's because there's been some sort of Sandman down here, and what do you want me to do about it? It hasn't messed up my kitchen yet.
Do not worry about it. We will take care of it. So you do well with your work, as you always do. The kitchens provide some of the best sustenance I've had anywhere.
Now, upstairs, Neve, Dom, and Sir Ivory Tusk, what are you doing?
I would have made my way over, or tried to get near Dom and Sir Ivory Tusk if they're in the same area. I would have tried to get to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's pretty easy because he summoned you up to the front of the court to accept this quest, and then he wandered off like Dougals do. So, they are standing there, and y'all need some sort of a plan. So, Fira and Una have gone down to the kitchen, obviously looking for something. What are y'all doing?
So the other two just leave to go get a drink, don't even invite us, and now we're just standing around not doing anything. We need to go and take care of this so I can go back to my life, because I don't want to be here.
Well, my lady, I say that we go
I'm not a lady. You're funny.
But if I know Farah, she's already on the task of figuring out what we need to do to see this thing. So we probably wait for her and Una to come back, and then we go maybe take a look at the orphanage where this thing was seen.
Or we could just go leave for the orphanage now. You want me to stand around and wait while they're doing things and tell me not to do something?
Or we can actually go find the story that the other two, the she said, he said story.
But if we stand around, we can have drinks, and when they come back, we'll know what we're looking for, because I don't particularly know much about Sandmen. I mean,
you have a lot of experience standing around.
If anybody
how would I get to look this good if I didn't just stand around?
Do you know how boring that is?
If anybody wants to know more about Sandmen that doesn't know about them, I will accept intelligence plus Greymare to figure out what people know about Sandmen.
I will do that then.
Cool.
Difficulty storyteller?
It's a 5. It shouldn't be too difficult for you.
4 successes.
Cool. 3.
2
2.
success.
So everybody with 2 and lower, you'll know it's a spirit of some kind. You're not really certain what spirit. There's several types of spirit out in the world. They all have different desires and things they're trying to do. Anytime y'all have dealt with Nunahe, they have nature spirits that they deal with a lot of the time. So it could be that, but they're also not Chimera and they're not Kithane. So they're sort of outside your realm, but they do have some of the similar powers to you. For everyone who rolled above a 2, y'all know that this is a type of wraith. So it is a dead thing. For who had the highest amount of successes here? Dom, you know that they have the power of a neuromancy, which means that they can dream walk the way changelings can. Which is why they're so useful to the changeling court if they can be negotiated with. Now, they deal weirdly with changelings because it's a battle of dream walking if you ever end up meeting one that tries to impact you. It'll either draw you into a dream of its making, or you will draw it into your dream. So there's not a lot of good options in terms of comparing powers with that. Though if you do draw it into your dream, you have control of the dreaming, and if they draw it into their dream, they have control of the dreaming.
So while I do like your idea, Miss O'Shea, I think that we should probably go about this together. I know your type don't like to stand around. You're very proactive. My type likes to stand around and think about proper ways to go about dealing with things like this. But Sir Tusks, I think, is going to be a great addition because he's going to be doing all the hitting on this thing when we find it, if we have to kill it.
He's going to be doing all the hitting? Really?
Stereotypes.
Really? You just said that he was going to be doing all the hitting. Are you kidding me?
You really
Do you know
to
anything about me?
Neve, are you attempting to use your fighting words?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yes? No, not yet. Not yet.
Just
not yet.
I would be more focused on the general task, Satyr, than more focused on a pink and blue hair puka.
I mean, it's not just a pink and blue hair puka. It's a Eshu. It's a knocker. It's definitely not a red cap. But I mean, if I had a tongue like that, then maybe yeah. But I frankly put, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So.
And I love to fight. So are we ready to at least maybe go find them? I can't stand around here. I really can't. Can we
I go bar.
Let's go to the kitchen. That's
Bar's a
where
good
they were
idea.
said. I'm fine with the bar too. I mean, I like to drink just as much as the next satyr.
Dom, as you are leaving the courtroom, the other Eshu in Maria's party glides up to you and says, "Ah, I had a question for you. You are part of this court, yes?"
I am. And what question would you have for me, tall, dark, and handsome?
And he grins and he's like, "Ah, I see. It's interesting. What would you know about the door here? Because I heard there's a door one's not allowed through. And I'm really kind of afraid because I don't know where my quarters are, and I don't want to wander through too many doors without knowing what will incur the Duke's wrath."
Oh, hold on just 1 second. Hey, Tusk, come here for a minute, mon ami.
I'll walk over.
You come over and you see this Eshu with the silver in his eyes.
So he's worried about some door that nobody's supposed to be going through. Could you get somebody to show him where his room is so that he doesn't get lost or get in trouble? Because the only door I know people aren't supposed to come through without being invited is that front door.
Okay. So, Tusk, if you will roll me wits plus either... Let's go for law in this case, because it'll be what rules the Duke has made.
And if I have no law?
Then I'll increase the difficulty on it for you. So it'll be an 8 on this one.
0.
Cool. You have no idea what they're talking about.
Did I make a roll? To see if I know?
You can make a roll as well.
And it was what?
It was wits plus law, or I'll take intelligence plus law too.
In the meantime, I'm going to go try to find a servant that knows the court.
What was the difficulty?
For you, do you have any law?
I do.
Good, then it's a 7 because you're within the freehold.
All right, hold on just a second. 2 successes.
Fantastic. So you know several doors that the Duke doesn't let people through. There is one out in the south wing of the house that just, as far as you're aware, it's a repository of things that didn't work in the various Knocker and Dougal creations that have been here. It's kind of dangerous to go in there because you don't know what they'll do, and so they're just kind of being housed there. You also know that the Duke's personal workshop is off limits to pretty much everybody at all times because he doesn't like people touching the things he's creating right now, and there's too many different types of she and changelings that have too much interest in just grabbing things for the fun of it. So it has a numerical guardian, it has a lock on the door. It's pretty obvious that you can't get in there without having done something to get to his personal workshop. So it's a pretty easy, don't go over there. At any given time, depending on what the Knockers are working on, there will be some projects that are kind of off limits because they've been working on them for extended periods of time, but those are also pretty easy to spot and they're not behind any closed doors. Also, guest quarters are traditionally considered off limits because they're under the protection of the Duke to just anybody who hasn't been invited in them. But again, that isn't a locked thing, that's just an etiquette thing.
Well, I did think of one other place you probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't try going into Duke's room either. I mean, that's really rude to go in your host's room. I would like to insight him.
Okay, cool. Let me roll some dice on his side, and difficulty again 7 because you're in the freehold.
I got 2.
Cool. he burned a willpower. So, you think he's pretty up and up, but, there's something kind of off about him still, but, he seems to just genuinely be concerned that he not offend his host.
Yeah, that's really the only, just a Duke's room, and probably, that's really all I can think of.
That's interesting. Well, then I can tell this freehold will be full of many interesting sights. I haven't been this far over. Also, if you happen to see Fira, do tell her I'd love to speak to her.
Most certainly will, and I'll do that as soon as I see her, since we'll be traveling together.
Excellent. I appreciate it. And he wanders off.
Oh, wait, what was your name again, mon ami?
Rashid.
Rashid. That's a very beautiful name, friend.
Yes. I usually do most of my traveling on the other side of the world, but, sometimes there are interesting stories to be had. And Lady Maria's party has had a very interesting travel through the dreaming. Do you know, actually, well, I shouldn't say, but do you know the story of Lady Maria?
She's a renowned warrior for our Duke. Yeah, I've been hearing that from a lot of people. I've never actually had the honor of meeting her, but I've heard nothing but good things about her.
She is a very fair woman, but when we were separated from the dreaming for such a long time, they say she lost her family to the dreaming. Her husband.
That's a my bit tragic. I don't like tragedy. I only like happiness.
Well, she seems to be getting past it, but she does go traversing the dreaming more often than most. But husband, 3 sisters, and no indication of a remembrance amongst the She thus far that would be her family. I think she hopes she'll find them again at some point.
Well, I can raise my glass to that. I hope she does find them again.
And
Lady Mira.
He raises a glass and says, "Go. I wouldn't dare keep you from your task from the Duke."
Sure thing. When my tall friend comes back, he'll have somebody that can help you. And I'll look over at Mr. Shea and motion toward the kitchen.
Neve, before you leave,
Yep.
PJ shows up. And he's clearly been in the crowd this whole time, but you haven't seen him. It's like, what do you think of his high and mindedness?
You've been here the whole time?
Of course.
Great. You did know about the shot glass, and that's why you sent me on this, right?
I just thought we could get into some trouble. This kind of stuff is always trouble. Fun trouble, like trouble.
Wait, so this isn't punishment for the shot glass?
I mean, you and I still gotta go 3 rounds in the yard, but no.
I mean, let's go right now. They want me to wait. Like, they're telling me to wait right now to not go and do this thing. And let's
throws
go.
A punch.
All right.
He just throws a punch.
She is going to dodge out of the way.
Cool. So if you will roll me your dexterity plus dodge, and your difficulty is a 5 on both sides because both of you are intentionally engaging in this fight.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, those are terrible rolls. 2 successes.
Cool. Well, you evened out, so I'm gonna say he hits you, but it doesn't do any damage.
Okay.
So you take a punch, but you manage to catch it in a spot that doesn't really hurt and roll off of it.
All right, so I'm gonna catch his punch and I'm gonna step forward and try to leg sweep him to knock him to the ground.
Cool. Roll me some athletics.
Difficulty?
We're still on a 5. You're
Still on a 5?
Yep.
2 successes.
Great. He gets out of the way of that pretty nimbly, actually. And because of how many successes he got, I'm going to say he uses his blink, and he ends up behind you, and then he's going to take a punch of his own. I want you to do a dodge, but your difficulty's raised because he's now out of your line of sight. So
Okay.
if you could take that up to a 7, please, and he will take another punch.
1 success.
Yeah, he punches you. Actually, he's gonna grab you from behind and like pull your head up to him, like, still think you could take me, huh?
Oh, god damn it, PJ, let go! She's gonna try to jab her elbow into his kidney, but...
Okay. Go ahead and roll it. I'll let you do it. I think he's just gonna take it, though.
3 successes.
Cool. He takes the punch. You've still got you in the lock. He's like, oh, I knew there was a reason I liked you. I knew the reason is Duke liked you. And he lets you go. He goes, look, the shot glass, you ain't supposed to break my shot glasses. We know this.
I know, I'm
That's why
sorry.
you're
Well,
here.
you made me mad. I'm sorry. I grabbed it. I threw it. It happened, okay? Do you want to break one of my medals? I'll let you break one of my medals. Can you break a medal?
He goes, look, it ain't no fun when you get mad and you tell people what you're going to do about it. So we did this about it, and you ain't breaking any more shot glasses, and you're going to go help the Duke so that I don't get in any trouble with him because I live here. But this is what happens. Got it?
I can't promise that I will never break another shot glass ever.
He considers, and he's like, you're right. I ain't promising I ain't taking any of your medals either. Got it?
For every medal you take, I break a shot glass.
Great. We understand. Go with your friends. Start some trouble.
I don't even know these people, my friends. Oh, okay, bye.
Make friends. That's the point.
All right, goodbye, peanut jelly.
He goes, it's Pipsqueak John!
You told me it was peanut jelly last time.
I told you it was peppermint jelly. Get it right.
No, that was the time before that.
And he wanders off. And he flips you off as he goes. So everybody's
sticks her tongue out.
Yep. So everybody's heading to the kitchen now, I'm guessing. Where Fira was just seen with Una.
Mhm.
Alright. It's an easy trek down to the kitchen, largely because the Boggin won't have anybody in her arteries to deliver stuff to people. It's just not a no. Boggins keep things organized. That's the point. So you find Fira and Una attempting to sugarcoat crockery?
Una has actually taken the shatterings and actually kind of glued them together in the shape of a bunny.
Mm-hmm.
And she has then taken barbecue sauce and kind of lined the plate with it. So we've got red colored.
Make sure you add some hot peppers.
I already did.
Oh, fantastic.
The bunny is that classic candy apple red candy coloring, but you and I both know.
Mm.
You and I both know.
Oh, yes.
I fixed it, Miss Quipley. Oh, hold on 1 second, Fira. And she runs off. She makes you a drink. Finally.
Okay.
You've been waiting 20 minutes.
Very patiently while you did your work.
And she comes back over and she has a nice little martini glass with a slice of candy apple on the side. And there's a little red sugared coating.
And Fira drinks it. She takes a delicate sip from it.
The coating is Carolina Reaper candy.
And Fira likes it hot.
So, as all
She
of this
grew up
happening-
on certain spicy foods, so not a problem. It's delicious, Una. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Miss Quigley sees this another group of people invading her domain and is like, look, no. Y'all see me working here, right?
Miss O'Shea, did you do something different with your hair shade? You looking fabulous today. I mean, is that the new shade? Because it's looking really good on you. I'm just here to get Una and Miss Fear. We have some business to take care of to do, but you look ravishing. Call me sometime?
Roll a persuasion for me. Do a manipulation plus persuasion, because she is flattered by you.
In the back of my mind, just
What is my
satyrs.
target?
It should be a 5 for you. You're a satyr. This shouldn't be too difficult for you.
Neve and Tusk just look at each other and start shaking their heads.
Yep.
So that would be 6.
Jeez.
And Fira is softly chuckling.
She blushes and she fluffs her hair and she goes, Dom, you don't come down here enough. Like,
I know, he keeps me so busy. He's trying to keep me away from your ravishing beauty. He wants to keep it all himself.
We gotta miss it.
like, oh, stop it. You always say the most ridiculous shit. Now, if you're looking for Miss Una, and I know the Duke had something for you to do, so I appreciate you taking the time to come down and see us. But, like, I still have this kitchen to run, so if you could take everybody out of my kitchen, that would...
Come on, everybody. Let's get out of this lovely lady's way so she can make...
We're going. I fixed the thing for the red cap. Everything should be fine. Go. Bye.
So, you all leave the kitchen. Fira, do you tell them what you saw?
I will as we are leaving, but as we are moving our way out of the kitchen through the main hall, I finish my drink and set it down on a tray or a table or something for it to be collected. And then once we get outside, I will inform them.
Okay. Where are you heading from here? Because you have some different information at this point. There are obviously some sightings in the Autumn world as well. There have been some sightings in the Freehold. So, where do you want to head from here?
Well, I was thinking we could go to the orphanage next, because, I love children. I love to make them happy.
First, we need to discuss. Are you going to flirt with everybody on the way there?
Of course
we're going
he
to an
does.
orphanage
It's his
and
nature.
he's going to... Yeah.
By the way, Farrah, your boyfriend Rash, he wanted to talk to you about something.
Right.
When did you start dating a man with the name Rash?
Rash?
Rashidin, Rashid. Rashdi.
Rashid.
Yeah, him. I just call him Rash because it's easier. His name was hard to remember. You have to be careful with those rashes.
Be careful, Dom, darling. Your jealousy's showing.
Me? Jealous?
Oh,
I'm in the company of such beautiful people. How could I be jealous?
Well,
I love
let's
you,
get...
Cher.
of course you do.
I'm going to actually declare something here, because satyrs are prone to mood swings.
Oh,
I've been confronted with something that is contrary to things that make you happy and understand life. And Rashid is never here. Like, he's the new thing, and you were looking forward to the fact that Fira was going to be here. You'd heard she was coming because you're the master of ceremonies, and you're getting huffy. You're getting huffy.
You know what? I think you owe me an explanation, because you just waltz back into town and don't tell me anything. You don't tell me you dating someone, so are we on again, off again all the time? Can I just date anybody I want to?
Well, of
Is
course,
that how this works?
I always tell you, you can.
You make my life so difficult, Cher.
Well, you made this choice.
You know what? You're right, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Una, where do you think we should go next? Now spit it out, dear. It's fine. You're amongst friends. It's fine.
I can tell you that what we're dealing with is a spirit, and it leaves a trace.
It leaves like rabbit droppings or something?
Something similar. It actually left a cold residue in front of the hearth in the kitchen where it was sitting. It felt almost like winter.
I don't know if I like the sound of that.
So
I don't like winter.
I can detect where it has been in the locations it has been sighted. And that may help lead us to where it is going next.
We should go to the daycare first.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Daycare would be, I agree.
You want us to go around a bunch of kids?
Yeah! What's wrong with that? Don't you like having fun?
She
I
just
love
got her.
having fun, but being around children is not my idea of fun.
Oh, here. She hands over 2 lollipops.
She just got her ass kicked. She's in a bad mood.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You just got your ass kicked by an old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or was it pocket jerky? I can't remember.
I did not get my ass kicked.
He
There's not a single bruise on me. Do you see a bruise on me?
He punched you in the kidney. I saw him.
I punched him
I
in
lost
the
a lot of
kidney.
money on you. I had my money all on you, Cher.
I am walking right now I punched him in the kidney.
Una's keeping time with Neem.
Lollipop? Always helps.
Sir Ivory Tusk, there was in the group with Lady Maria a she of the house, Derian, which is a hunting house for the she, and she is eyeing you from across the room. She thinks you're interesting and very tall. So, all of this is happening over there, and you're just mildly distracted by the she lady who won't stop staring at you.
And I'm not the one with black horns. This is awkward. Looks at Dom, looks back, looks at Dom. It's totally the tusks. It just rubs them.
Nah, they're supposed to grow out your head like this so they know you're horny. But you go ahead. She's not really my cup of tea. That's all you right there, friend.
First of all, I will celebrate with a lovely woman after and a few drinks. Right now, there is an adventure awaits, and we gotta stay focused.
Yes, and imagine the story we can tell after we are done. Let us get going.
And knowing Uma, she won't. If you don't take the lollipop, she's gonna act like a child even war.
Neve rips the lollipop out of Una's hand and just starts striding as quickly as she can towards the daycare.
Yay!
See, I told you I was a motivator, Vera. I motivate people to do things.
And she pats Dom's hand and says, "Of course you do. Of course you do. I will explain everything later for you."
Thank you, Big Blue.
She kind of gives you a little nudge.
Oh.
You'll just ignore it. And watch this.
So, going to the daycare means that you exit the freehold as it stands. So the castle in the middle of Toronto fades to just this old historic house as you exit through the front door. And you're back out in the real world. Now, all of you have seemings that you present in the mortal world. What do those look like?
For Neve, she's roughly the same size. She's still pretty small, maybe an inch taller. Her eyes are brown, and she has dark brown hair that's just pulled back into a low ponytail.
Okay.
Dom is basically about 6 foot tall, really slender with blue-black hair. Still wears a lot of black makeup. Definitely looks goth. Wears a choker around his neck. Looks like a college kid.
Cool.
For Fira, she basically looks very similar to what she looks like, only of course her ears are not, pointed. And her eyes are more hazel instead of sparkling gold. And she is about an inch or two shorter than her Fae seeming. And so basically she just looks like, a late 20s woman with black hair and hazel eyes, and she's fairly graceful and lithe.
Okay. Una?
Una looks a little bit taller. Obviously, no ears, no cotton candy. Brown hair, brown eyes. She still is wearing rollerblades. They look very different. They're black and purple now. Her entire outfit it's a brown, kind of chocolate brown dress, and she has on a white apron that has ruffles that are kind of tied in the back, but she is wearing leggings just in case she falls.
So at still same height, so 6 feet 10 inches tall. Male, current hair is dyed aquamarine blue, and the dark violet eyes with wearing blue jeans and basically a plaid shirt.
Right.
Plain color shirt.
And those of you with changeling eyes cannot disguise their unusual nature to other people. While you're out here, though, because you are outside one of the largest freeholds in Ontario, you can still hear faintly in the background the clanging of the forges when you stand too close to the house. Looks like a house. There's definitely a carriage house in the background, so it's probably trying to manifest that in the real world, but there's nothing to see here. And if you go down the street, it is a series of older houses. You are very close to the city, though, so you can see the towering buildings very close to you. The way Toronto is it's very neighborhood based, so every neighborhood has a very different character to it. Often it has different flavors of immigration to it as well, so there'll be communities based around it. In this particular case, you are in a fairly expensive neighborhood because it's been here for a long time and the property still exists. There is a daycare, though, within the neighborhood itself. This is fairly common in Toronto. We mix a lot of commercial with residential if it's needed for the residential to continue. So convenience stores and little daycares and stuff like that would be fairly common to see within a neighborhood itself. You can actually hear the laughter of the children as you get close to it. There's a big playground outside attached to it with the jungle gym. Kids are all between, probably 3 and 5, so it seems to be a preschool of some kind. They're very small. They have a couple of guardians outside watching them. It seems to be about nap time, too. So, what do you do?
So I'm thinking it's a bad idea if somebody dressed like me goes up to the orphanage. So I'm probably just going to stand to the side. If anybody just wants to stay and keep me company, I'll kind of keep watch out.
I say Uma should head in.
I like kids. I can go in.
I mean, I like his too, but I mean, I don't really like
Let's
that.
not send the creepy goth nightmare cat.
See, I was just starting to like you, but then you had to go and open your mouth.
Una, would you like for me to accompany you since I can detect where it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
But I will let you do the talking with them.
Hey, Miss O'Shea, why don't you go with him? Because you were complaining about having to stand around. Why don't you go too? And me and Tall, Dark, and Rocky here will just stand over here and talk.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I guess. It's better than standing around doing nothing.
Don't give him the lollipop I gave you.
Why not?
Because it's a special lollipop share.
Drugged
Yeah,
or
it's free.
spicy?
Spicily drugged.
Oh, I personally love the spicy, so if you're not a fan of spicy, you can give it to me.
I hate spicy. Take it.
I take it. Stick it in my bag.
So you are now in the mortal world. So you are approaching a daycare, of which you have no children in this daycare. So what is your method of approach?
I am going to be rollerblading to the side, kind of doing a little loopy-loop, trying to distract children and with cute little tricks.
Roll me a charisma plus performance, please.
Okay.
And I'm going to go in on the pretense of requesting a tour for my child.
Okay. I will do the performance roll, and then we'll do that, and that'll be a persuasion plus. I will take leadership, I'll take performance, I'll take persuasion and manipulation somewhere in there, whatever you'd like there.
Okay.
Difficulty for your roll on your performance should be a 6, Una, because you're using your treasure to do this. And Vera, you should also be at a 6 because this is within your wheelhouse.
Okay.
So Tuss,
Texas.
Hmm?
It was 3, but I had a 1.
Tuss,
Okay.
I bet you $5 this goes really bad.
I'll raise you 10. No,
15.
You know what? 20.
All right, 20, you're on.
So, Una, as you roller skate, it's really cool. It actually is, but you're going a little too fast to really see how cool your tricks are. So only 1 or 2 of the little kids actually see you doing it, and they're mostly drawn by the color on your skates. So there's a little boy and a little girl who were clearly playing in the corner together behind a bush, doing whatever children do with, like, acorns and stuff like that. Like, they're hunting for cool rocks and, things to throw at each other because children do this. They go, and they come up to the gate of the community, and they're just staring at you like they've never seen this before, and you're also going super quick.
Yeah.
Vera, where were you?
I have 4 successes,
That's more than enough to convince someone that you have a child that you would like a tour for this facility for. The lady at the door is a motherly woman. She's got a faint Caribbean accent that I will not attempt to do because I cannot. And she's like, "Oh, well, I'd love to give you a tour, but I have to tell you, of course, that like we're not accepting enrollments for this season now. But next season, absolutely."
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's fine. Her child's not even born yet.
She elbows Neve. We are in process of planning, and I'm just wanting to get ideas.
And she looks at you up and down. She says, "When are you due?"
Not for some months.
Well, I mean, I'm prejudiced, but I love this daycare. We have such great kids. I mean, obviously, it won't be for a while now, and it'll be a different group of kids, but like, they're just all going down for a nap right now, which is like great timing, actually.
Perfect. So yes, I would like to know, can you show me the communal places where the kids play?
Absolutely. They're actually out in the yard right now. I suspect that Cassandra will be bringing them in. They call her Miss Cassie. You can call her Miss Cassie too if you want. But so she takes you through. It's an older house still. It's still in the character of this neighborhood. There are clearly like small classroom type things, but they're more filled with blocks than they are with like learning tools that you would use for older kids. There is a nap room with like little pallets on the floor for them all to nap. She goes, "Now we do have some half-day children that go home with their parents and some full-day children. And then of course there's the playground outside because they have so much energy that if we didn't let it out, they would absolutely overrun us all the time."
Oh, of course, and it helps them nap better too.
Absolutely. Here we go. So,
while she's taking me on this tour, I'm observing for any kind of fireplaces in this place.
Okay. There was one at some point in this building. It is locked up now. It would be a hazard to kids in general. So there would be no hearth for them to particularly sit by that would normally be lit at this point.
Okay.
It seems... I would like you to roll the perception plus kenning again here. It should be easier to see this time, though, because there's less distracting you in terms of magical stuff. So I'll go for a 6 again on difficulty.
That was 3 successes.
Okay. You do feel the residue of it here. You, of course, also feel the residue of the people around you as well. So there's, something faintly cotton candy bubbly going on outside. Neve is, fiery. Like there's some like
very
bubbly warm there going on. Dom is weirdly warm for all its a little dark shadow outside. Like it has warmth to it even though it is dark. And Sir Ivory Tusk is, well, you feel like you'd like to give him a hug and you don't know why.
Okay, so I feel this kind of cold residue. Where does it seem to be emanating from?
The nap room, currently.
The nap room. Okay.
Yes.
And I look at the lovely lady leading us around and I say, "Do you mind if I peek in on the children sleeping? I promise not to disturb them."
And she goes, "Well, I really shouldn't. I mean, okay, but just for a second, though. Okay. They really are so cute."
Oh, I know. They're adorable.
So as you peek into this room, there are a bunch of children who are in varying states of awake and asleep or being put down by various people for their afternoon nap. And in the corner, you see a little bouncing unicorn. It's like 14 different colors. Neve, you do not see this at all. And every child that seems to actually be asleep at this point gets visited by this little bouncing unicorn. It changes colors on each child, too. So it depends on what the child seems to prefer. For some of them, it's a riot of rainbow colors. For some of them, it's really cool and spiky. And, for some of them, it's this little tree frog type thing. Sometimes it's really cuddly. Sometimes it's really sleek.
I wonder if unicorns dance through their dreams.
She goes, "Oh, that would be a lovely thought. You're going to be a great mom. I can absolutely see it. I'm so excited for you. And I know it's a while yet, but like, I hope you can bring your kid here. That we have such good families here. And there's a bit of classism to this here too, because of where this daycare is.
Mm-hmm. Is there any way for me to subtly reach out to that unicorn?
You could try.
Okay, I'll try. Because I don't want the mundane daycare owner noticing I'm doing something.
I'm looking at your skills and trying to decide what would be the best thing here. Actually, if you wanted to use your tailcraft and start a story, you might be able to get a little...
I think I will do that.
Okay.
I think I will basically very softly tell a story about a dancing unicorn.
Excellent. So I'm going to say use your Fae and your tailcraft for this, because it's a...
And I add my scene as well?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's a difficulty 7 now, because this isn't something that is inclined to deal with you one way or the other.
Okay, just a second.
I will roll some dice for myself.
That is 4 successes.
Awesome. So it notices you telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
Your 4 successes gives you a solid grasp of the moods in this room. It looks like a tapestry of painting. Neve, when you see her do this, because you are a changeling, it looks sort of like golden thread on her. And it seems to be weaving in and out of her being. The children themselves seem to be a bright blue. They're fairly calm. There's a couple of them that have bits of dark purple in them, in that they're cranky and they're tired and they want to go to sleep, right? The little unicorn seems to be a very happy pink. It's bubbly. It doesn't seem threatening, and the children don't seem alarmed by it. They seem tired or, resting, but they don't seem to be threatened by whatever's happening with the unicorn. And the unicorn sees you, and it tilts its head, and then it changes to a more Arabian stallion type looking thing with golden embroidery on it, and it watches you interestedly. And then it wanders up and circles around your feet before hopping back to the various children and going back to what it's doing.
Woven into the story was a question for it about the Sandman.
It looks a little sad for a minute. Like the pink fades to a more muted shade. And then it gives you a kind of flick of its tail that's like, wait a minute. And it nuzzles a couple more of the kids before coming back to your feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to go to Una.
Mm-hmm.
Now, outside, Una, Dom, and Sir Ivory Tusk are still outside, though Una is entertaining the remaining children, and the 2 that have seen you are fascinated with you, impervious to the calls of their minders to come in and get a snack and go to bed. They're like, ooh, ooh.
Hi.
And they look at you, and they back up, and he goes, hang on, Rachel. I have roller skates.
That's awesome.
Where's...
I love them.
Did you? My dad says I have to practice more, and he shows you his scraped knees, where he's like so proud that but you do really good. Can you teach us how to roller skate? And Rachel looks a little scared because she doesn't know you, and she's like, I don't know how to roller skate though, Timmy.
It takes time. It takes time and practice. It's all about the balance.
And she kind of shifts sideways, back and forth.
You gotta master the balance first.
And she's like, oh, my mom says I'm clumsy. I guess that's the problem.
It's okay. You're gonna fall eventually. It's gonna happen. But you need to get up and keep trying. I have a question for you two. Have y'all seen anything weird recently around here?
Rachel says, you?
Well, besides me. Something before I showed up. I do have some candy.
Timmy steps in front of
You ready to pay up?
Timmy steps in front of Rachel and is like, my mommy says I shouldn't take candy from strangers.
It's okay. How about I eat one with you? Then you'll know it's not bad.
Roll a manipulation plus persuasion on this child, because he's not a dumb child. He is a child, but he's not a dumb child.
Get ready to pay up.
Yep, pulls out wallet.
Difficulty 6.
4 successes.
Cool. So he goes, I guess it's okay if you eat it too. What kind of candy is this?
It is like a caramel toffee. It's the soft chew, not the hard chew kind.
So he shares it with Rachel, and they both eat it. And he's like, okay, weird. No, nothing weird. I mean, I love coming to school now. School's awesome. We have the best dreams here. So awesome.
Best dreams?
Yes, I got to slay a dragon, and there was a knight in shining armor, and then I was a puppy, and
that's amazing.
And Rachel goes, I had a kitty, and it was 40 different colors. I didn't know there were 40 different colors, but I loved them, and it's my kitty.
Oh, that's so cute. I love y'all's dreams so much. So you haven't seen anything weird or scary or creepy?
No, we like it here. I mean, and my mom said Rachel could come home and play with me today, so it's a good day.
Yes, it's a very good day.
And then their minder goes, Timmy, Rachel. And they look up at you. I'm sorry. It's nap time for.
I'm sorry. I just thought they were cute.
And they go, bye. And
bye.
As they're leaving, and I'm going to roll something for the little girl. She turns around and goes, bye, Miss Bunny Rabbit.
I think that's worth another 20.
He pulls out I'll say that's probably, yeah, here you go.
And so, with your new tiny horse companion and your knowledge about what happened with these children, I think we're going to go for break.
Okay, perfect.
Yay!
And we're back.
And we start back up at this daycare.
Yes.
So Una waves goodbye to Timmy and Rachel. And Fira and Neve exit from the front of the building.
What did Fira get from the unicorn?
It's following you.
Oh, fantastic.
So
Can Neve see the unicorn yet?
nope.
Okay.
As we step outside, I thank the proprietor of the daycare, and I say, I do love your facility.
She's like, let me give you a business card, and like, if you have any questions, just call. I'm like so happy to see someone so invested in their child.
Oh, absolutely. And, I travel often for my work, but when I am home, I would love to volunteer some time telling stories to your children.
Oh, that would, I mean, what do you do for work?
I'm a writer. I travel a lot and write articles for various publications.
Would love that. And she gives you a business card and says, just anytime, come back. We're happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
And the door shuts behind you.
We have a companion with us now. It's a
What?
little rainbow unicorn. You probably can't see it, but it was inspiring dreams in the children.
Sir Ivory Tusk, if you'll roll your neuromancy for me, I will let you know if you can see the unicorn.
Neuromancy and what?
So it would be Fae if you have any.
Yes, I do. Difficulty?
5. Not hard, you just have to see it.
3 successes.
Yep. So prancing about Fira's feet is a little unicorn. It is admittedly multicolored, but at this point it has more Arabian horse feel to it than it did when Fira was watching it over the children.
So I'm gonna just get down to the unicorn's level.
Fira
just
will do the same.
Hold out my hand so it could be at everybody else to see if it will pop in my hand. So it will be at everybody else's level.
It chuffs at you and snuffles a bit, but you don't have anything to give it, so it's just kind of interested in you.
Cool.
I actually sit on the ground and tell it, I will trade you a story that will inspire beautiful dreams for what you can give me.
It whinnies softly and shakes
Should
its
we
tail.
maybe not do this in the middle of the road?
It does kind of look a little creepy. I mean,
Okay, let's go. Then come with us and we will do this.
It bounces along next to you. It seems attached to you at this point.
Perfect.
So. In the middle of the road obviously is a bad idea for this. For everyone else, if you'd like to roll a intelligence plus Greymare or wits plus Greymare, you can figure out why you can't see this unicorn and they can.
what's the diff?
This is probably a 7. Okay.
5 successes.
Wow. Okay. Well, Dom, this is likely something Fira can see, which would mean it was dead, given based on like what you knew about the Sandman. And Eshu and Slua can see the dead things, so you're guessing it's probably, if she found something pertaining to your quest, it's probably got some sort of deadness to it, which is why you can't see it. Una, it's actually a combination of Wraith Spirit and Dream Spirit. So if you could see dreams, you could see it, but you're not dreaming currently, so you can't see the unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
So
Neve didn't get any successes.
bought.
Neve has no freaking clue why.
So Dom leans over to Neve. Can you see dead people?
No, can you?
No, but that's why we can't see it.
It's a dead person? I thought she said it was some sort of prancing
No,
thing.
no, it's like
Okay, before we get to
Here's-
talk, let's go to somewhere
Yeah,
private.
actually, I'm just going to I'm going to meta a little bit and say Fira's place where she stays while she's here is nearby.
Okay,
and we're gonna
that's
go
fine.
there.
All right, cool. What does Hero's place look like?
It looks like a studio apartment.
Okay.
On the mundane, but if you are dreaming, it actually appears like an Arabic tent.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will say, because you are not a native of this place and you won't stay very long, that a lot of times when you pick a new place to live, there's higher banality than there would be in the more established places.
Mhm.
So when you go to her place of residence, while her residence does not have this feel to it, the area around it does. Because the farther you go into Toronto and you get out of some of the more eclectic neighborhoods, the more banality there is, because people do basic jobs, and do finance shit, and there's nothing more boring to changelings than people who do finance shit, because
Yeah. She basically always gets like an Airbnb in some eclectic neighborhood, and yeah.
Yeah. just
Yeah.
as you get farther away from the freehold, the banality does increase,
Mhm.
which means your difficulty will increase to deal with things as you investigate them. The horse is just following you, though.
Mhm.
It fades a little bit in color the farther away you get from high places of
Mhm.
creativity. So
Mhm.
it's not quite as bright, but it is also still a ghost thing, so it
Mhm.
just kind of becomes more transparent as it follows you.
Okay. So we go into the apartment, and basically, I sit down with the horse.
It looks at you, and if it could be a human, it would sit down and stare at you expectantly, like, you're gonna tell me another story, right?
I will tell you the story after you tell me what I need.
It looks around, then kind of chuffs at you. It can't speak, so it's just
Mhm.
like, nay.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
I basically asked a question about the Sandman to the horse and wanted to know either where he can be found or what his intents are. Either one that he can choose to answer.
The horse gets up, the little unicorn, and tries to lead you somewhere, then comes back and tries to lead you somewhere.
I get up and follow.
Okay. So if you follow this little unicorn, it takes you back towards the freehold in general, what it's doing, okay? And it's going to take you to a convenience store. Okay. And in this convenience store, it's just your regular kind of Torontonian convenience store. It has a bunch of random stuff, anything from milk to chips to, bouncy balls type thing. Anything you could need at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night type thing. There doesn't seem to be anything happening in the main area, but a lot of convenience stores have apartments above them, because they're usually built into older houses, at least in some cases. So there's probably an apartment above this, and the horse goes through the door to the apartment upstairs and vanishes.
Would someone like to knock on this door?
No,
Eve
but you-
walks up and knocks on the door.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah. There's
I saw this. I'm like, Fira's gonna notice it.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen me give him money over and over again.
The owner occupant comes downstairs, and he is clearly been woken up from sleep. He looks a bit disheveled. He looks a little upset. He's like, "What do you want?"
It's like 1 p.m. Why are you just sleeping?
It's like, "I took a night shift. Who the fuck are you?"
Oh, Sarah. I'm here recruiting new training recruits for my judo.
He's like, "Didn't you see the sign? No soliciting."
Oh, I'm not soliciting. I'm trying to get you to become my student. I've heard so much about you. What's your name?
He goes, it's Jason.
See, Jason, I told you I'd heard so much about you. And, I mean, look, your muscles look like they would be perfect for takedowns. We're also here... I don't actually know why we're here, other than the knocking.
He goes to shut the door on you because...
She puts her leg in the doorway, so that way he can't fully shut it.
It's like, bitch, I will call the cops. Like, get the fuck off my property.
You're on an episode of Cheaters. We know you've been cheating on your girlfriend.
She's like, wait, what? Who told you? Was it Anna?
Yeah, we're going to come in and talk to you right now.
Yeah, we're going to have a talk.
Will somebody roll some sort of persuading?
I'm going to do...
Man, intimidating of this man. Something.
Can I roll intimidation, storyteller?
Oh, please do it. Please do it. You're the big muscle guy. Please do it.
So what would that be?
So
I'm using strength to intimidate.
Yeah, so there is an intimidation.
You're like in a flex.
Yeah. So please use your strength plus intimidation to do this.
Okay, so 4.
And I will lower the difficulty to 5 for this because you are a 6'10" man with blue hair.
You're gonna flex, and you're gonna be like, "You're really gonna let us in."
It's true.
Well, I got 1.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, he beat that one. Sorry.
Oh God.
And he goes, "Look, I don't care how big you fucking are. This is my business. I didn't consent to any of this."
You don't have to consent. She hired us to do an investigation. We want to come in and talk to you and get your story before we bring her up here and she beats your ass.
He's like, "Look, I don't want to talk to anyone. Like, I was having the worst nightmare. I just want to go back to bed."
Tell us about
your nightmare.
Tell us about a nightmare that's more scary than being caught cheating on a girl you told that you loved, that you want to spend your life with, that you wanted to spend forever with, and now you're cheating on her with some cheap dime store floozy that you met probably came in through your front door.
Somebody please roll something social on this man.
I'm gonna roll manipulation plus.
Also, Dom, I want to point out that your abilities are such that you could get him to give in to his passions here, and you know.
Okay, I'll do that.
Cool. Because you have the ability to cause people to indulge. So, if you wanted to offer him a drink or something like that, you should be able to get him.
Come on, let's sit down. Let's have a drink. Let's you and I talk. Let my people in. We just want to talk. We want to try to resolve this in a situation where, you know, nobody's heart gets broken.
And she goes, "That whiskey?"
It's whiskey. It's the best whiskey.
Like, "I'll talk to you, but like, it's been like the worst week." And he opens the door, and clearly this apartment it's not terrible because a lot of things in Toronto aren't super like run down in general just because of how expensive property is around here, but it's obviously not well cared for. He's obviously not taking care of himself. There's obviously beer bottles all over the counter. The trash is overflowing. He's not cleaned anything ever, but he obviously hasn't done anything in like a week or two type thing. There's a video game still playing in the background, and the door to his bedroom is still open, and it's up this little flight of stairs because it's above the store too, so like, just that's where you're at. He's like,
"Come on, dude.
Look."
Come on. Yeah, I'll hand him the flask.
And he takes the drink. He's like, "Look, I lost my job this week. Like, I went to the bar, like, because the store downstairs, like, it's not, I don't run it. Like, I just rent it out to somebody who runs the convenience store. Now, I've been, like, working as in construction a really long time. Like, I love construction. Like, when I got into it, that was my favorite thing. And, like, and I know Anna must be so mad at me, but, like, things have been rocky for the longest time. And, like, I was just having, like, the worst nightmare. Like, the worst nightmare. And
why don't you tell me about this nightmare? Maybe we can help you work things out with. Look, trust me. I'm a lover myself, and that's why I took this type of job with cheaters. I want to help people fix the problems. And as I'm doing this, I'm kind of trying to cut my eyes so people go look around while I've got him distracted.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm
Walking into the
phone.
apartment for sure.
Una is definitely following suit.
Neve is just watching you and the Jason. Was it Jason?
Jason.
So
She's just
Jason,
watching you and Jason.
So Jason, tell me, are these nightmares about you and Anna, or?
It's like, well, they start off pretty normal, like I start dreaming about my boss and how I lost my job. Like, it's been a slow season for our company, and like I think it's on the marketing team, but like I won't hear anything about it because his wife runs it. And then, well, I hate this, but he's like a bigger guy. He's like, I'm a bit claustrophobic, so like the more stressed out I get, like the more I feel like I'm in a small dark room, and then I.
Oh my god, this is so boring. Just tell us about your nightmares.
This is his nightmare.
Your nightmares are this boring?
Like, well, I was just look. It starts here, and then like I was getting to the scratching on the wall, but like, fine.
No,
Your
continue,
nightmares.
please. You, quiet.
Neve turns around and goes to the kitchen to look for a beer.
Neve, I'm calling that when you said that, because he's talking about things that make this like angry man scared. You've used your fighting words. It's very clear.
She's a scrappy leprechaun.
Hang on.
So he goes, you know what? I don't know how to take any of this shit, and he throws a punch at you.
Oh shit!
Just give me the wallet.
Hang on.
No.
She dodges the punch, and in the same movement as the dodge, she's going to go under his arm and then around behind him and sweep his legs out with a kick.
Cool.
Sweep the legs, Billy.
Roll me some dexterity and athletics, please. Difficulty is only 6. He's a sleepy, unhappy, drunk man.
That must be some
7
good stuff
successes?
in that flask.
That's way more than enough. Like, he threw a punch, and now you sweep his legs, and he is on the floor. He's hit his head. He hit it on the table going down. Like, there's a big ass crash from the middle of this kitchen, and he's like, oh, my head, fucking bitch.
I'm going to sit on top of him and be like, see, this is why you should have come to the judo dojo.
He's like, this is still about judo?
No, this is about the affair you're having on your girlfriend. My associate's trying to start a judo gym because they're tired of doing this. So tell me more about the dream and the scratches. Hey, I gotta have protection. You're a big guy. I'm tall, but I'm lanky. So you were saying something about, scratching on the walls, claustrophobic.
I'm gonna pause here. What is everyone else doing?
So
I'm looking for the horse.
Okay, the horse has gone into the bedroom and is bouncing around happily. Okay. If you go into his bedroom, you'll find the horse nuzzling at the creepiest spider you've ever seen in your life. The spider does not seem particularly concerned about this bouncy, colorful horse. It seems comfortable with it. It doesn't seem super comfortable with you, and it raises at least 3 of its legs at you and runs at you. So I'm going to need you to roll a dodge for me because you walked into that.
And I am going to actually do... I'm going to hopscotch out of the fucking way.
That's a good plan. So you go... So I'm going to say you only need the 1 success here. So
Okay.
you're trying for 1 success because it's only 30 feet. Because if you go more than 150 feet, you're going to end up smashing yourself into a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 7, though, because you are in a banal place.
Yep.
With something attacking you.
That is 3 successes.
Cool. So you more than ably go like flying across the apartment back out of the room. So you end up back in the kitchen with this man on the floor and Dom and Neve interrogating.
Luckily, he's on the floor and didn't see me. Literally, just whoop, right back in the room.
Yep. But Dom and Neve, you definitively see that happen because she's suddenly back in the room with you. Una, are you still headed? What are you doing?
I was sneaking around to try and get a peek into places that Fira wasn't looking.
Cool. You find his wall safe. You find his gaming collection, so all his game DVDs. You find the weird anime pillow he has for some unexplainable reason. You know, the whole body pillow of whatever. Yeah, this is this man.
I'm going to wipe my hands.
The question is it a bunny?
What is on the bunny body pillow?
It's now a bunny girl. You knew that was absolutely going to happen at this point. The cute big ears, one flopped to the one side. And, you know, Anna really should have known what she was getting into with this man, but clearly she's, you know, glutton for punishment.
Oh my.
There's a little blush, and I try and flip it to where it's the more covered side of the body pillow.
It's on both sides. There's no covered side of this pillow.
Oh, gee. Oh, gee.
That's it.
I'm taking the pillow with me.
I love it.
So Una now has a body pillow with a bunny girl on it, and
Nice.
I'm sneaking out of the house
Well, he's distracted. He's
while
pinned on the
he's
floor.
distracted.
please roll me a dexterity plus stealth.
Okay.
Don't botch.
Don't watch.
Please botch. Please botch.
What's the diff?
It's going to be a 6 because it would be 7, but he's on the floor.
3 successes. Ha! In your face. No botch.
You sneak out of the house. Neve definitely sees you do it, but like Dom's facing the wrong direction, so he doesn't see you with this body pillow, so you're not totally embarrassed that you have this body pillow in your...
Yet.
Sir Ivory Tusk, what are you doing?
So I'm going to follow
flying backwards.
I'm going to follow the unicorn so I can see it. And
Okay.
as the spider is come like towards her, I'm just going to grab like the nearest probably. Is there any like containers from like food, glasses?
Okay, absolutely. As you pass through the kitchen, you can grab like a
Okay.
bottle. Right.
So I'm just going to grab a glass and just put it right over the spider. So it
Okay.
can't go any.
It is a bigger spider than that.
Yeah,
It
you
is-
won't be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Don't, and Fiddler's going to say very quietly because she hears the commotion with their discussion going on where they're screaming at each other. So they're not going to hear her. Don't attack it. Let me talk to it.
You do realize that it just.
It's defensive. We have just invaded on it.
If things go back,
If we,
then I'm crushing it.
then crush it, but let me try.
It tried to do a thing, but it didn't do a thing, so...
Yeah. So I'm going to look at it in its eyes
Okay.
and say, very quietly, because I'm letting their discussion overpower the sound of my voice, but I know it can hear me. We did not come to hurt you.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to need you to do something to convince it of this. I don't care if you...
I'm going to do
before.
charisma. I have a specialization in captivating.
Okay.
And persuasion.
Cool. I'm here for that.
Okay.
Difficulty... This is a difficulty 8, though. Because it is aggressive.
Okay. That is 3 successes.
Okay. It stops attacking you, but it doesn't come any closer.
Good. We understand each other. Now,
It makes that hissing noise that some spiders make. You and Sir Ivory Tusk are the only one who can hear it. So.
We know you're giving this man a nightmare,
It chitters.
but you give the children good dreams.
The horse looks really happy. Ding, 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 ding.
Are you willing to work with us?
Yes. It stops hissing, and it gets behind the little horse, and it stares at you suspiciously. At least it feels like it's staring at you suspiciously, but it's not aggressive at this point. It's taken its legs back down, and you think you've done something.
Okay. Is there a way that we can form an official deal?
Not in this group.
Okay. I promised your associate a story for introducing us, and I will deliver.
And the horse bounces and nudges the spider, and the spider still looks very suspicious, but, it's settled.
Okay.
And then the horse bounces out of the room
Mm-hmm.
and back down the stairs and outside.
It's probably going to go back to the children. Okay.
Well, the spider follows it,
Okay.
and it's bouncing somewhere too. Well, it's more creepy crawling down the stairs, but
And I'm going to stand up and I'm going to look over at Dom and Neve and say, I've got what I needed. Whenever you guys are finished, meet us outside.
And Jason goes, I know what this is. I'm still dreaming. This is still my nightmare.
Yes, it is. This is the worst nightmare you have ever seen.
So Anna doesn't know. I gotta tell Anna. Fuck!
Yep. 100%. I agree with the dude, whatever he says.
Yeah, you should probably tell her you should buy her lots and lots and lots and lots of really nice expensive gifts. And you should probably buy her a ring. You should put a ring on it.
No, he shouldn't.
And
He was just cheating on her.
As you bicker about this down the stairs, you go back outside and you see the little unicorn, at least Fira and Sir Ivory Tusk do, and the little spider. Would they be a cute duo if one wasn't so creepy and the other wasn't so brightly colored, heading back to the freehold?
Perfect.
Uno,
So-
why do you have a bunny pillow?
I had to save it from him. He was doing terrible, terrible things.
Oh, kinky.
You and I should talk. You probably. He goes inside the store and he takes some of the money that he's won from Tusks and buys a thing of garbage bags and puts the pillow in a garbage bag and hands it back to her. At least wash it first.
Of course.
We'll talk about it later.
Can any of y'all do something could y'all move this and hang it somewhere where he couldn't get to it?
You know what? We should just
We'll take it with us. We'll take it with us.
Yeah, we'll just take it.
Fine.
I'll protect it, okay? You have my word. I think bunny girls are cute. I would never deface a bunny girl.
I mean,
Promise?
Never? Not unless if she asks, then
She's gonna speed off now. She's turned beet red and is speeding off. And she doesn't know where we're going.
Where are we going?
Looks like we're heading back.
home.
Yeah, we're heading back to the old house.
Okay.
so Una, I want you to do a thing right now because I want you to roll probably your dexterity and your specialization in rollerblading at this point, because you're flustered and you are trying to zoom off on the thing of zoomies.
Yes, I am. So dexterity and rollerblading. All right.
And your difficulty on this is going to be an 8.
1, 2, 3, 4. 7 dice. 7 dice.
It's a good dice pool.
Yeah. Ooh, 1. 1 success.
Okay. The rollerblades take off without you. So you're just going, no! So you see her head kind of knock back in the wind, and the rollerblades just like take her careening down the street.
She does realize what she has in her head, right?
I don't know. I think I upset her, and I don't know why.
Because she has a crush on you, Dom.
Fira. You go. The world fades. And you see a door. And you open the door, and a blast of cold wind comes from behind it. And you say, and you see a choice, a fork in the road, and you say, down one road lies madness, down one road lies nightmare. One will come to pass. And you say this as you see it.
Do we hear her say that?
Yes. It just comes out of me.
What?
You always say the weirdest things to me. And it's really hot, but that's kind of scaring me.
You find madness and nightmares hot?
Have you seen the look of him?
He's kind of goth.
Yeah.
This is all H.P. Lovecraft. Right here. That's right up my alley.
What I saw was a door, and when I opened it, a cold blast of air hit me, and I saw two paths. A fork with two paths.
Nightmare and what else?
Madness.
Or mechanically, you would think of this probably as Nightmare and Bedlam.
Yeah.
How about we don't go poke it with a stick and stay on this current adventure? Because I see that look in everybody's eyes, especially Una's.
Oh no, we need to go poke that stick. Don't you think so, Neve?
I don't like madness.
Yeah, but would you prefer nightmare?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm a vote no on the nightmares. I'll take the madness.
So you guys just want to walk down this random path and see whatever is at the end.
Well, it was like a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't even know where this door is right now. We might not even come to it.
But if I recognize it, you know I'm going to open it.
Una, are you okay?
You don't know.
She took off.
Oh, she's still gone? Oh.
Una, you stop approximately when you get back to the freehold. It's like the skates are on rails. Like they know where you're going.
Ride of her life.
Oh, Hero didn't mention that these things are excitable. Are you okay, Bunny?
And she kind of looks into the trash bag.
If you enter the freehold with the bunny, it clearly needs some help. It's a sad bunny. And the more it goes into the dreaming, the more it has this aching feel of sadness to it. But you think with enough patience, you can make it a happy bunny again, but the resonance of it is not great right now. Maybe if you don't feel too embarrassed, you could show it to Miss Quigley, and Miss Quigley could figure out how to wash it for you, but...
I'll do that. I'll show it to Miss Quigley. I will. It'll be fun. She'll be perfectly fine with it. It'll be okay. We'll get you some help.
Okay, so you go back down to the kitchen while everybody else is trying to make their way back to the freehold. And Miss Quigley goes, Una, what on earth do you have in your hand? Here, give it here. God, that's dirty. What are you doing? What is this?
I need you to fix it. It's a sad bunny right now. You can help make it happy, right? You can make it happier.
And she holds it, like, physically in front of her body like this, like she can't get it, like, far enough away from her. She's like, I guess we could put it in the bubble room and see if that gets it out.
Yay, bubble room!
And she takes it down the hall to what is the castle's laundries, essentially, which are these big tubs, but they're not really full of water, they're full of bubbles, just like bubbles, and all of the various things that are being washed are in various bubbles in this room, and various little mechanical things are taking the drying out to the next room, which is kind of like the exhaust fumes from the forge. Is really helpful for drying, like really helpful for drying, but you think this is... You've been in the washing room before. Actually, you have been washed in the washing room before when Miss Quigley got upset. So, it's going to take an hour or two to save this bunny, if this bunny can be saved.
That's good. Thank you, Miss Quigley. She gives her a little hug.
She goes, oh, Una, I think you're supposed to be on whatever quest the Duke has. Where'd your friend go?
I am. The skates, the zoomies led me back here, but they were heading back this way anyway. Is there any cake left?
Goes, I mean, there's the leftovers from the feast. I mean, everybody's heading to bed soon, Una, so...
Did the red cap like the rabbit?
And she goes, well, he ate it. And then the table. So I think so.
Okay, I wanted to make sure we figured that out. I'm gonna go grab cake now. Thank you.
Cool. So the rest of you return to the freehold, following the spider and unicorn pair at a more measured pace. They're really cute in one way. Like, they're clearly manifestations of dreams and nightmares that, like, you would find normal in changeling society. They bring high emotion either way. So it's not as bad as it was when they were where the spider was aggressive. So it's kind of like, you know, the one goth friend and the one Lolita friend. It's adorable.
It's adorable and kind of creepy.
Yeah. Once they get into the freehold, though, they are a little confused. There's just a lot more magic here. The balefire does confuse things in terms of their ability to follow the trails they know there.
I'm going to say, Sir Ivory, can you please advise the Duke that we have brought what he sought?
I will definitely advise the Duke as, Tom, I think I owe you something. Pulls out $60. There's my tally for the whole event. Here, take it. Go buy yourself some color.
I think you owe me the whole wallet and the plastic in it, because, I mean, this
What is this bet?
I bet him that this would go horribly wrong, and every time I turn around, it goes horribly worse. So this... you might as well just go ahead and give me the wallet.
We were successful.
While
sorry.
they're arguing about this, the unicorn and the spider seem to get the scent of something again, and they keep walking. Also, it is getting to be late now, so the freehold, anybody who's staying here for any reason, this would be approximately the time you were planning to go to bed anyways. So the Sandman is... You found its minions, but you haven't found the Sandman yet.
Oh, okay.
So, they're still looking for their controller, and the controller seems to be somewhere
Nearby.
in the freehold.
Okay, so let's follow them then.
Cool.
So someone should find Una. I'm gonna see if I can find Una real quick, because I'm worried about her.
Just leave her with the pillow, and hopefully she figures it out.
No, I don't want to leave her with that pillow. That thing was filthy.
While Dom goes to look for Una, and you can find her pretty readily because she's gone back to her usual haunts. Fira, you see Rashid. Is there anything you'd like to do about that in this case?
I'll walk up to him.
He goes, I see you like my gift.
I do.
He goes, it's been a long time. Well, long enough. What was the last one? Bali?
Oh, yes, the beaches were beautiful.
Yes. There's something very magical about Bali.
Indeed.
Though I can't say I like the cold, but there is something very broad about Court of White Pavilion. There's many things to see here. Are you having fun on your adventure?
Always. It
Now
does
tell me-
inspire some wonderful tales.
I have something to tell you, Fiora.
What is that?
There's a door in here.
Huh?
You're not allowed to open it. And I think it would be a reckless adventure to find what's behind it. Don't you?
Oh, of course it would be. But it could be dangerous.
Isn't that half the fun?
Oh, of course it is.
And, you know, as much as I admire our stalwart, stalwart also hides secrets well. People don't believe they have any.
That is never the case. So where is this door?
He goes, as far as I can tell, it's in the south wing.
I'm sure my adventure will lead me to it.
I couldn't leave you without the opportunity for such a great story. And you'll have to tell it to me after you find it. Right?
You know I will.
Leave the satyr. I don't mind what you do with your off time, but I'm not into sharing.
My mind is my own, and I will come to that conclusion when I'm ready.
We both know what conclusion you'll make. And he winks one silver eye.
And she winks a golden one and turns away from him.
Right. Neve, you haven't spent a whole lot of time here, but this is probably the quietest it has ever been in here. In a freehold that has so many knockers that like to swear at things that are breaking continuously. It does feel a little creepy and cold in here comparatively. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing in Changeling society, because there are a number of things that deal in scary imagination and not just positive one. But your group particularly does deal in positive imagination, so it's not exactly what you would normally deal with here. It makes you feel odd. As you wander around, you do actually come across a room while everybody's having their conversations where you see Duke Stefan and the Lady Maria talking. And standing at the edge of the door, you've clearly been unnoticed by them, and you can hear them talking. And Duke Stefan has said, I was hoping you'd find Anastasia this time. And Maria sighs, and she's like, 2 freeholds I've been through, Stefan. I can't control enough to get through the dreaming so many times. If you stay with me much longer, it'll impact you too. And he says, yes, but I chose that. You know that. We know what we're facing. We've always known what we're facing. What we remember. What we cling to, Maria. She's like, yes, but we don't have what we had once in the dreaming. We don't. I think you're foolish. I think you think this will be easy. I think you can run your freehold as you always have, no matter what happens. You're so obsessed with treasure. I don't mind. I don't even mind bringing it to you, because if anyone can find out how to use it, it will be you. But this is a fool's errand. You need to stop it. And then they look up and Stefan sees you, and you back away from the door trying to act like you didn't hear that part of the conversation and you were passing through.
As soon as I get out of the door frame, I'm gonna start sprinting back the way I came. Cool. I don't know whether I was supposed to be overhearing that at all.
And you don't know if they think you heard it or not. Cool. So you meet back up, I'm guessing, in the throne room for just the sake of everybody finding each other. And the spider and the unicorn are looking around wildly because they've clearly sensed something and it's getting stronger. And if you follow them through, they lead you to the south wing. To the door
Perfect.
with a face on it.
Fiddler's going to walk up to it and examine the face.
Cool. Everybody who wants to investigate the door, please either give me intelligence and Greymare or intelligence and
What was the second one? Intelligence and what?
Kenning.
Okay.
It's a target.
This will be a target 7.
3.
One success.
I'm going to spend a point of willpower.
Okay.
3 as well.
Good thing I did. I got 1 on that willpower.
Okay. Everybody who has 1 success here, you'll know that this is some sort of guardian to the door. You don't know if it's a miracle or if it's a spirit in the door. For Fira, this is probably a brittle door. There's probably a passcode to get through this door at some point. You don't know who sets it. You don't know how often it's set. You don't know if it's infused with the spirit of a sphinx or it's just a standard riddle, but this is a brittle door.
I look at the face and say, do you have a question for me to pass?
And the eyes of the face open up, and it's got curly horns like Dom, except like bigger and more ridiculous, and a long face. And the eyes are a bright pink.
Definitely overcompensating for something.
Uh-huh. And it
Be
says,
polite.
"You'll have me today, tomorrow you'll have more. As your time passes, I'm not easy to store. I don't take up space, but I'm only in one place. I am what you saw, but not what you see. Am I? What am I?" Now I'll take guesses, and if we get stuck, then I'll have everybody roll for their enigmas.
Isn't it memories?
Yes, it is. And as you say that, the door opens.
Good
And
job,
Sarah-
Neve.
There is...
Why are you all so surprised that I got okay?
No, that's awesome.
No, we're complimenting you. You
This is a compliment, dear. Take it.
You all look so surprised that I got it right, though. I'm not just.
No, we are impressed. There is a difference between surprise and impressive.
Hera, that cold air you felt, it's coming out of this door. And the spider and the unicorn bounce down the stairs like they're just really happy to be here.
She pulls her shawl around her and walks through.
Everybody following?
Follow right behind.
Dom and Sir Ivory Tusk, you know that this used to be the place where things went to die when they broke. And this is now a staircase down into the bowels of this castle that you have never seen before. You did not know this space existed. You know there are dungeons in this castle, but like they're pretty standard. You know where they are. You know who's in them. You know who the Duke has problems with at any given time. This isn't that. And as you go down, it gets darker and darker and darker till you reach a room with one flickering torch. Now it's a chimerical torch, so it leads off a blue light and a bucket of water. And Fira, you see a man staring at an old man chained to the wall with iron.
Okay, it's not too late to close the door. We all forget about that. And then we find some other way to play something else.
But where's the story in that?
Sir Ivory Tusk, because of your neuromancy, you also see the second man staring at the man on the wall. Everyone else only sees the man on the wall in iron. All of you can feel the presence of the iron in this room. Its presence is weird. You are in a freehold.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure the man is chained up for a reason. Really for a reason. As much as I want to go set him free and possibly maybe hurt it, I think that you should just tell him that we found the source of the problem, and we all live our happy lives.
What
Is
is
that
the roll me a... Ooh, I want you to resist something. So roll me a wits plus empathy here. Difficulty 8.
Me?
Just for Ivory or everybody?
Everybody.
Wits and empathy?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have empathy?
Well, kind of screwed, and your difficulty went to 9.
Would my speciality of instinctive help with this?
Yes.
What does the chained man look like?
He looks like a very, very old, emaciated man.
Like a man, or
Like a man. Like,
Okay.
he might have... He has that sort of she quality to... Dom, you're... Ooh, okay, Dom and Una. You two get... Don't respond to this. You have the... you have the option of not responding to this, but the man on the wall asks for water, and Neve, Fira, and Sir Ivory Tusk, you have the urge to give it to him.
I only have my one cup on me, but if I feel the urge that I have to give him water, then I'm going to walk over and take my cup out and have it fill up with the liquid.
Fira, the thing you see with this man, the other one that's staring at him, is a wraith. This is the Sandman. And his, and the spider and the unicorn are prancing around him happily, and he is petting the unicorn and letting the spider crawl over his shoes. Okay, so you're gonna take the cup out?
Yeah.
Dom,
Are you sure you want to do that?
He asked for water.
But he's chained up down here in iron. And he asked for water.
I mean, he's thirsty.
He's
Fira and Sir Ivory
chained
Tusk,
up.
you feel very like what possible harm could there be in giving a prisoner water type thing?
He does. We don't know how long he's been here. I mean, could be dehydrated, and maybe the Duke wants him alive and dying on our watch, or there could be. It doesn't hurt.
The wraith glides over to you, Fira, and says, "This doesn't concern you."
Your presence concerns me.
I was invited.
By whom?
And his face contorts. He says, "I cannot stay."
Whom invited you? The Duke thinks you are a threat. I would like to be able to tell the Duke that you are not.
And he says, "One who has permission to be here." Leave this. This nightmare is not yours.
Why do you torment him so?
Because I have accepted that duty.
I owe your steed a story.
He glances down and smiles at the unicorn, and he goes, "I miss good dreams."
My stories inspire them.
I'm going to roll again. Everybody, again, please roll me your wits plus empathy.
I'm going to spend a point of willpower, storyteller.
Okay.
That's a botch.
Oh shit. Okay.
To difficulty 9.
It doesn't matter because Fira botched.
Okay.
Fira,
Yeah.
you go to the water in the bucket on the wall and you scoop some in your hands and you give it to the prisoner. And as he drinks the water, he breaks free of the iron, grins at all of you, and he says, "Thank you. It has been too long." And he vanishes, leaving you with the Sandman and nothing else in this room.
Well,
I could not stop myself. It was a compulsion.
okay.
The
So,
Sandman looks at you and he goes, "I must now find him. You have broken my contract. I have to find him."
I apologize.
He goes, "Tell the Duke whatever.
I
I
will.
will be no more problem in his territory." And he and his unicorn and his spider start gliding up the stairs.
As they leave, I say, "My fair unicorn, when we cross paths again, I will tell you your story."
She looks sad, and the Sandman looks at you and says, "Can you promise to take it to a place of good dreams?"
Indeed.
He nods at the little unicorn, and it bounces over to you and sits.
And
on
I lean down and I gently pet it.
It says, "I do not envy you. What will happen to you now?"
We all have our burdens to bear.
And returning up the stairs to the world above, you find the castle in an uproar. There is screaming, there is wailing, and you hear that the Lady Maria has been kidnapped. And that's where we're going to end this.
Dun dun dun!
uh,
I hope everyone had fun.
That was fantastic.
I loved every second.
so total count of money owes $180.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this Changeling the Dreaming one-shot. We had a wonderful time, and thank you, Michelle, also known as Spectre Alafette, for being willing to stream your first time with us as a storyteller. We've really loved the opportunity to play this game. Definitely check out the content that we have coming up next week. We are going to be off on Monday, and then on Tuesday, instead of Haunted Chronicles, we are having a 7th Sea one-shot. So Shanky and a bunch of other people, forgive me, I'm kind of spacing on everybody who's in it right now, is basically going to be pirates searching for booty, and it's going to be awesome. And then on Wednesday, we do have our 2nd episode of Wraith the Oblivion, Life Derailed. Let me tell you, this story is so off the rails, and it is dark, and it is viscerally emotional, and it is awesome. You need to tune in. That's at 8 o'clock. We are taking off the rest of the week and weekend so that those of you who are participating or viewing Gen Con online can enjoy that time. And then we'll be back the following week with our streams. So definitely give us a follow or a subscription if you like the content we are providing. We would love that support. If you need to see any back episodes, check them out on YouTube. We have links to the McStabber streams as well as Haunted Chronicles and Ishfel. Give the Haunted Chronicles and Ishfel YouTube channels a free subscribe on YouTube so we can get that short link instead of the long link in our bot, because the long link takes up a lot of space. So
go give them a free subscribe on YouTube. And then join us in the Discord if you would like to chat with all these amazing people I played with today. They are freaking awesome. We all hang out there, and we do have an open casting call. It actually runs through the 31st of July, where you can apply to play Vampire the Masquerade V5 Chicago by Night, but you got to join the Discord to apply. Thank you so much, everyone, and we hope you enjoyed the stream.
Bye, guys.